welcome back. This is By the Book, and we're your married relationship coaches. I'm Sent.
I'm Sale.
And today we're talking about Family or Fiance, Season 3, Episode 6. This is Kiyomi and Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed in this show, and this is why. There were some key issues that went unaddressed, and I know they only have 3 days, but like when you sit up and you identify like crucial, critical issues in a show like this, and then the relationship coach doesn't address it, like I'm just disappointed. I felt like she spent more time dealing with the family's issues, like Austin's family's issues, than she did with the couple. And that was crazy to me.
This is true.
So this starts off, these are two people in their early 20s. Yeah. Kiyomi and Austin met in Japan. Kiyomi was a camp counselor in Japan, and Austin was stationed there. He is in the Army or some branch of the U.S. military.
Like Navy.
Okay, fair enough. So anyhow, she sees him. She likes what she sees from across the room. She goes, seeks it out. She's a go-getter. She's that alpha personality. She went and got her man. She said they went on a date the day after they met. The next day, they were boyfriend and girlfriend. Crazy thing is, though, a week later, she moves back to the States and he's still there. So they've got a 1-week relationship that now they have to try to foster from overseas.
Yeah.
And this was in 2019, I presume, just based upon the way they told the facts. So they're carrying on a long-distance relationship. And as they explain to Tracy, they say they only saw each other 2 times in 2019, right?
Yeah.
2020, COVID struck.
Yeah.
So they didn't see each other at all. And I guess Kiyomi's like, hey, I got needs. They're not being met with you all the way over in Japan.
Yeah.
She tells him she wants an open relationship. She wants to take a break. He don't like that, right? He's not happy with it, but he has no choice but to go along with it. So she pursues another relationship, which she said made her know she wanted him more. And he pursued another relationship. She was open about it, but he was not open about it. Not so much in that he lied, I guess, but it was a lie of omission, which is still just as bad. And this lady, the young lady, side piece, interim girlfriend, whatever you want to call her, she just contacted Kiyomi just 1 month ago. Like, this is my man, and, you can't have him back or whatever. And no woman at all wants to be approached with that situation where, it's humiliating, right? Like, to know somebody else knows something that intimate about your man and he hasn't shared it with you first.
Yeah.
That's like a huge thing for women, is to be embarrassed, is to be, told something by some other woman about their man. So.
Yeah, it's pretty sticky. My question is if he was over in Japan having this other situation kind of like going on.
Yeah.
How did this new girl get her
information? That's a good point. I don't even know. She probably went through his stuff. She probably was just like that type where she was going to be messy. I got me a military man. I'm going to keep him type of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, that situation I think is probably clearly over, but it doesn't leave her with confidence in his truthfulness, I guess. And this is an issue they didn't discuss. And I'm like, why? That was a huge thing to try to get through that trust factor, and they didn't.
No.
And I don't think they're going to address it. So when they talked about just a little snippet that they talked about whether she trusted him or not, she said, well, I do, because he lives with me now. So like, because he's under lock and key, because you can have your eyes on him mostly 24/7, now you trust him. But it's not hitting at the underlying issue that trust issue is not resolved.
Yes.
They said that he has to, I don't know, you said it wasn't another tour of duty, but it's something that he has to go overseas or out of town for again.
Out of town to do his like clinical. I think he was trying to do something in the medical field.
So what in the world do you think is going to happen when
Trust
he
issues
does
are-
that? Right. Obviously, she's going to
Mhm.
be upset. She's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, are they rushing to marriage because she feels like that's going to fix it? Like, okay, I know I'll be able to trust you if you're married to me.
They're gonna have issues.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I think whether if it's he's living on the moon, and she's on Mars. When two people start out and then they begin to say, "Hey, we need breaks," or "We need open relationships," that's already setting the relationship on some type of unstable footing.
Yeah.
And so when she initiated it, she's being honest though, but she initiated that, but she was interjecting something into the relationship that was ultimately going to create a divide.
Yeah.
Other than the distance.
Yeah.
And so she interjected it. She began to see someone. He began to see someone, and this is where his part comes in as far as being a detriment to the relationship.
Yeah.
He's not honest about his part, but he didn't want it in the first place. And so he felt some type of justification since he didn't want it in the first place.
And if you listen carefully, he had animosity about that because Tracy asked him, why didn't you tell her, how deep that relationship was? And he said, I didn't think she deserved to know. And that's really almost the most animated I heard him in terms of like maybe angry type of issues in the whole episode. So again, I felt like that was something worth addressing and they glossed over it. Like that was, to me, the last time I really heard anything significant said about it.
Yeah.
So their families come in, and for Kiyomi's part, I think her mom, her godmother, and her sister. No, was it her sister? No, it was her best friend.
Yes.
Mom, godmother, best friend come in, and they have kind of the same concerns that every group of families come in. Like, are you guys rushing? Are you communicating well enough? Things like that. Austin brings his mom, his little brother, and who will be his best man, his best friend, I guess, from the wedding. And they talk about, like, do the families know each other well enough? And everybody just all around has a big, big question mark in terms of his ability to be a leader. Everybody can see that Kiyomi is the type to take charge. Like I said, she's got that alpha personality. And everybody knows, especially the people who know Austin, they know him to be very, like, I don't know, reserved, beta, maybe. I don't know. How do you see him? I definitely don't read him as having much leadership ability.
No, not much leadership. Pretty soft-spoken, laid back.
And uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, can we just talk a moment about how he seemed like he was reading off a teleprompter?
Yeah.
It was like, I think that you are... I was like, where is the teleprompter? Like, what is happening with this man? I don't know why he was so awkward and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
His social skills are lacking. I'm going to say that.
Yeah. Definitely early on.
Yeah.
I think his social skills picked up. And his communication skills picked up toward the end of the show, but in the beginning it was pretty choppy and pretty rough.
Yeah.
And so some kind of way during this 3-day period, it benefited him, at least in the way of him being able to present and communicate better as the show went on.
Yeah. So I think, just to hit on the key points, because I don't want to back and forth with like this happened and that happened, but the key points that came out in this were that everybody kind of harped on Kiyomi to step back so he could lead. Her family asked him a little bit about his ability to be a leader, and he's like, well, I have 2 jobs right now, and I got this program that I'm in. His school, he's going to be in school for the next 5 to 7 years. And somehow he thinks that that's what's holding him back from being a leader. But he missed me with that point. Like, what is he talking about? Like, your ability to be a leader doesn't have to do with you being finished with school.
Yeah. Well, I think his primary thing from a man's standpoint, from his standpoint, is for a man to be a provider. And he's probably figuring, I can't fully provide the way I want to until I get out of till I finish school and get my, as he put it, my dream job.
See, and again, I feel like point missed,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they let that slide, and then they got on Kiyomi like, hey, you know what, you're going to have to be able to take a step back and let him lead. But I don't think he can understand what leadership is in this situation. Mm-hmm. It's not only going to be him providing, it's going to be him being able to actually take the lead in the household as the man, plan some things, do some things. Kiyomi's like, hey, I just step up and do stuff, I'm assuming just because he isn't, right? She planned the whole wedding. Yeah. It seems like he has any input in that. And the one thing that she seems like she's on him to do, which is to get his tux, he hasn't even done that yet. Like, dude, what is going on?
Yeah. The leadership thing, he's definitely lacking in. I talk a lot about primary needs of a man, primary needs of a woman, and at this particular point, she does respect him for some kind of reason. I'm asking why. I don't know. It's something deeply ingrained in her to respect, because she obviously respects him. I saw no disrespect coming his way at all. And so she is doing that. However, I wonder how long would that be maintained if she's doing everything and she's the one leading everything.
Right.
Does she eventually say, why am I with this guy?
Yes, because if they have children, she's going to be like, okay, I'm raising more than one at a time.
Yeah.
He has to step up, and I don't think that it's incumbent on her to show him how to step up, for her to kill whatever energy she has, masculine, if you want to call it that, whatever, so that he can learn how to step up. He's going to have to man up and be that guy. I don't know if it has to do with his upbringing or whatever the case may be. We did hear about his mom and dad being divorced. I'm assuming this was when he was in middle school or high school. It sounded like, about that time. They spent a lot of time talking to mom about what happened in that relationship, which I felt like wasn't really productive in terms of his own personal growth.
Yeah.
She revealed that she had been cheated on by his dad multiple times. And I was telling my husband, I was like, I bet you he knew that. If he didn't know it, he suspected it.
Yeah.
Because, what else would she be hiding like that?
Yeah.
He obviously wasn't beating her in the house. They would have known about that.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't that hard of a jump to get to that conclusion, I guess is what I'm saying. So I don't think that was some big, huge revelation for him that would be life-changing for him to have learned during this episode.
Yeah. I like the show, but one of I think where the show kind of fails is it's so quick.
They're trying to resolve a lot in a small.
Yeah, and so it leaves you with more questions than answers. And so this whole thing about the dad, my question is what was the relationship between him and his dad after the divorce?
Yeah.
Was he still somewhat present, not present at all? I was curious. And so, and then his mom never told him why they divorced. They divorced. Why didn't the dad tell him? Why they?
He wasn't gonna tell him that because he was gonna look bad.
Men have a way of telling certain parts of the story.
So mothers and sons, you can't be telling your son I done cheated on your mom multiple times, and you might have a couple of random siblings out there.
Yeah. Dads, like I said, men have a way of well, we just didn't work out. Well, why didn't we work out? Well, because we just had some issues, whatever. So men have a way of kind of saying what they want to say without saying nothing at all. And so I was just, so again, it just kind of left me with more questions than answers. And then, of course, with, what's her name?
Kiyomi.
With Kiyomi.
Yeah.
I had questions about her dad because her mom was there, her godmother was there, and
he wasn't present. She said that from the beginning, her dad wasn't present.
But how was that? How did that impact her?
We see how it impacted her. She got all that male energy.
Okay.
So now she's take charge.
Yeah.
Because she's probably seen her mom take charge. Young ladies, what they learn. They learn that from their mothers when they have single mothers a lot of times.
Okay.
And they become that strong woman. But I don't know if she's met her match in Austin, because he's not strong enough, it doesn't seem, in my opinion, to balance her.
No,
he's going to fall into the female role and she's going to fall into the male role.
Well, he's already there.
Yeah.
He's already there. So how do they get things back in order? By him initiating, by him stepping up, by him being more vocal about where he wants the relationship to go, where he wants the marriage to go. I'm curious, who proposed to who? I don't know. I don't
because
know.
She did approach him in the first place. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he better have proposed to her. I mean, she got the ring going, right?
Who got the ring? I don't know.
I think that's the thing. That's just one thing I want to say. It's weird to tell the young lady she's already leading, right? Now you're telling her that she has to lead him to become a leader by lessening her leadership. Yeah. And it's still putting the burden of her taking that lead upon her. Yeah. I know that was probably crazy and a little bit confusing, but I'm just saying that I feel like she has too much to do with it. If he's supposed to take the lead, it shouldn't be anything that she necessarily has to do. He should just, boom, be able to do that. Mm-hmm. Step into that masculine role. Yeah, well, he's not gonna be able to do it. Otherwise, I just think, and that's my whole theme for this, they're incompatible. They're going to get divorced. Their families gave them their blessing. The only other thing I wanted to talk about, which was a little bit weird, was that Kiyomi, they had her mediate between him and his Austin brother. And his little brother. And she doesn't know what to do. I'm like, why would you put somebody random in a position to do something like that? Yeah. And thankfully, she didn't do a lot. I feel like they kind of fed her the words to say. Mm-hmm. And then Austin just kind of took over from there and talked to his little brother. But again, wasted time. We didn't deal with the trust issues. We didn't deal with the control issues. We didn't deal with the long distance situation. We didn't deal with the fact that they've only seen each other 15 times in this whole relationship. Yeah. Until they less than that probably, until they moved in together. Yeah. So, they don't have my blessing. They don't have mine either. Because like I said, she does have some trust for him, obviously. I'm sorry, she does have respect for him, but she doesn't have the trust for him unless he's in the same house with her. And then on top of that, she doesn't feel safe in the relationship. So it's just like these foundational, his needs, her needs, they're not being met. Yeah. And so I don't see it going on very long, until those type of things become corrected. Yeah. She's young. She thinks he's cute. She loves the idea of being married. So, and he's willing to marry her, whether she proposed or he proposed, he's willing to marry her. Yeah. And I think she's infatuated with that whole idea. I think when she settles into a marriage with him or even a long-term relationship with him, and she's like, why am I the man? I think that's going to be a problem, and it's going to end. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. It's just, how did they get there? I think by him really beginning to exert himself and to step out of his comfort zone, by which he was kind of starting to do that by the end of the episode, but a lot of that was because he was still being led. Yeah, the therapist was leading him, and then the therapist kind of told her to lead him, and so nobody did their job. Yeah, so he's gonna have to find that sense of power, I guess you would say. Exactly that. He's gonna have to find that sense of self-esteem. He's gonna have to really begin to kind of and come out of that shell. And the military didn't get that to him, huh? Didn't give it to him. I don't know what impact that has. I don't have a lot of military people in my family, but I assumed, y'all let me know if y'all assume the same thing, that he would have more natural strength or leadership than what he showed. So I was surprised. I was like, oh, he's a military guy. It's going to be a whole different type of episode. It was not what I saw coming at all. Yeah. Because it's just like, I ain't saying he's got to be uber alpha male. Beat your chest type thing. No, but as far as
hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is where I stand on certain things. Show that.
Don't have any
voice that. Let her, so all of that was missing. All of that was missing. I saw a 20-something-year-old boy, essentially.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. But let us know what you guys think. Like we said, we're not giving this our blessing. No. And as I foresee them divorcing within less than 5 years, if they do go ahead and get married. He's got a lot of work to do.
Yes.
But comment, guys. Hop in that comment section and let us know your thoughts about this couple. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification, please. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.